Hello and welcome to a tutorial that I'm recording for the Laserdisc community on Reddit. Some people are asking how to make a timeline show. I hope this helps. I'm not sure if this is exactly what you guys are looking for, but I'll just show you what I do in terms of making a timeline show. Basically, I like to make laser shows that go along with music, and my shows go with LEDs. I have an LED controller that I also use with Resolume, blah blah blah. Anyways, this is the laser portion, and we can see what I've got going on here for this. I have, first of all, you click down here, find your timeline, and then I already had this preloaded. We'll start a new one, but I'll just show you what I've got. It looks like this is a song by Levity, and sorry if the audio is going to be shit here, but I'm going to just play it through my speakers. But we can see the song starts out with nothing because my LEDs are doing stuff, and then we get into Q1 where I have my lasers doing this circular motion with 4 beams. I just thought that was cool. And then we get into this drop where, again, my LEDs are carrying this. I didn't really care about lasers there. So you guys get the general idea. I think on my YouTube channel is where I'm going to upload this. This is, you can see what I actually do on another video. There should be an hour-long video of me in my room with my original set. You won't see this song in there. That is a really old version of my little project that I've got going on, but it'll give you an idea of what I do and why I do the things I do. And keep in mind that I make my cues specifically for my style. You don't have to make your cues for your style. I do want to put an emphasis on safety. If you are going to be doing this, then I would expect that you know all of the safety requirements to properly operate a laser and you have your variants. Anyways, let's get into it. We'll just start with a new page. We'll call it Reddit, just for you guys. And then we're going to start a new file here, a new show. So here we have blank everything. This is where you guys are going to be starting off. First, you're going to choose your song. Let's go. I like. Let's do Into Pieces. Right? I'm not going to do all of this with you guys, but here you have your waveform. You just throw an MP3, I believe, in. And this is where we're going to start designing our show. So usually, and I want to emphasize that I've only been working with the software for about a year and a half or so. So my knowledge is limited, and I'm just giving you guys tips and tricks on what I do. I would consider my style maybe unorthodox or ghetto. I'm not a professional by any means, so if there are any pros in here, please don't judge me too hard. I'm just trying to help the new guys out. But so what we have here is what you're going to be starting with. You have all of these shapes here. You have a circle, you have a line, you have a horizontal line, a triangle, blah 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 and blah. And you could choose your primitive shape, whatever you're going to be using as a baseline, and you can either have it in lines or you're going to have it in beams, right? And look how many beams there are. There are 33 apparently right here according to this number. and you could have less beams, you could have more beams. That's what's up. That's super cool. Let's take a listen to the song. Let's listen to an interesting part. All my walls nothing perfect lasts forever. Can you put me back together? Okay, so I hear a lot of things, and I would do this differently than most because I do have LEDs that I'm pairing with, so different sounds would go to my LEDs and different sounds would go to my lasers. But what I hear is that deep growl, that whomp from this part right here. And what I see when I hear that is beams that are moving side to side very quickly with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a shape. And I'm just going to do this fast because I'm assuming you guys are all competent and can kind of travel along. I feel like the more information I pack in this video, you guys can slow it down, rewind if you need to, blah, blah, blah. So what I got here is I'm going to go with a horizontal line. I'm going to go beams because I want beams. I want less beams. I think I'm going to go with about 9. I don't have my laser on me. If you want to design your show well, have your laser, test it with your laser. Your scanner, if you have a 30K scanner, 25K scanner, I don't know all of the numbers. I think they go up to 40K scanners. That's going to affect how your beams are looking and how much power you can push through. Not necessarily power, or it's just how bright each beam, how many bright beams you can have before you start seeing flickering. So just play with your laser, get accustomed to your laser. This is going to be very specific to you. Anyways, let's start with 6 right here. I have 6 beams horizontal, and I want to play with it a little, so I'm going to add an effect. And you have all of these effects here. What I would focus on first is oscillating effects, and then let's go geometric, right? This is a math-based program. Everything is math-based. So we have axes on our little graph here. Here's our x-axis, here's our y-axis. We're going to go to an oscillating effect, a geometric effect, and then we want to play with our x-axis because it's left to right. I like playing with mostly beam shows, so most of my shows are going to be horizontal. So I'm going to go with the geometric, and I want to play with the let's play with the position of x. So we see here we're going to start at -50. We're going to go to 50, so that means the center of this is going to start here and then go somewhere around here, back and forth and back and forth. And then the lower I go in beats, the faster it will go. And then we have all of these different options here. Ping pong smooth, we can accelerate. Look how that doesn't look too cool. Just play around with it. You just gotta play around with it. You gotta see what you like. So I'm gonna go with ping pong normal. Let's say I like this color, blue, whatever. I actually don't really like this, so I'm just going to trash it. And don't be afraid to trash things. I think I like an X oscillator. Look at that. That looks really cool. Let's add waves. Let's see how many waves we get. No, that's not going to mess with amplitude. You just got to mess with these things and find out what each thing does. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. I'm sure you could figure it out. You just have to get in here, start making cues, and start playing with things. That's just the way it is. So let's see how this is going to work with that wobbly effect, that womp. Okay, so I'm scrolling it with my mouse wheel here. Okay, so I want it to start around here. I'm looking at the waveform, and it looks like it's going to start getting aggressive right here, which is where I want my cue to start. Okay, so it sounds like here. It sounds like it ends right around here. So I'm going to cut that cue right here. Oh, I missed it. Did I? Okay, so it looks cool. And then what's the next thing that we hear? Let's do that That sounds really pretty. That's going to be also very difficult. So I'm going to, again, I don't want to spend too much time with this. You could get pretty intricate on your designs, but mostly what I do is create new shape for my cues. And if you have a bunch of cues already, obviously you guys could see I have all of my cues that I make for my shows. But if you're starting from scratch, which I'm assuming you are, which is why you need this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this. Let's see here. I'm going to do a horizontal again. I'm going to do a beam again. I don't want that many. I just want, let's do, how do I want to do this? Yeah, let's do 2 beams. And let's do, this is interesting. Let's just start playing with some stuff here. Okay, I think I remember what I did. On one of my things here, I added a color effect, and I deleted this. I made one black, so it would black it out. And then I made the other one, let's just say white, so for the learning, for the sake of learning. And we're not going to do by gradient, we're going to do by time. So what's going to happen here is it should, yeah, you could see it's going to flash here. Oh, neat. You could do you have the Z axis on here as well. Anyways, I see that that's going to flash. I don't know exactly how fast that's going to flash. Okay, this is something I'm more comfortable with. So I want it flashing really fast for that. So let's see how this is going to pan out in real time, because when you're editing it in here, edit shape, and you could go back and edit all your shapes. What you're seeing here is not going to be the same time as you see it in the timeline, which is kind of annoying. So it's going on, off, on, off, on, off, kind of at that speed. Let's see how fast it actually goes. Well, it goes about the same speed. So that still looks pretty lame, not gonna lie. So let's make it move. So let's move it around on the x-axis. And let's have it, yeah, let's do 8 random positions. And you can mess with these values. You can set it to 10. It could go to 10 to negative 10. So it's not going to move very much. This is just moving it along the x-axis. Let's make it go a little faster. But what I know here from, let's forget all of this stuff for a second. From our standard, I have 2 points and our size is 50. So I know that this 50 mark is going to be about halfway. The edge of the screen here, once you get off of this, your laser isn't going to display anything anymore. So we want this to stay within these bounds, or I want to. It's not a huge deal if it goes off, whatever. If it does go off, it's just how you want it to look. But I don't really want it to go off those bounds, so I'm going to probably keep it at negative 50, and it doesn't look like this will, my dots will ever get off of my x-axis, or my cutoff, my interval. Let's see what happens with that. That looks cooler. That looks cooler. Let's make it go faster. I want it faster. That's not fast enough for me. So let's make it flash faster. Okay, so you're not fast enough. Let's see. Let's see if this will be any faster. That looks cool. I just want to make sure that this cue is actually going on, so I'm going to drag it on again. That looks pretty accurate to me. That looks like how it sounds, or it looks more like how it to sound. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Whatever. So let's add a mirror effect. Let's see what that will do for us. Mirror on the x-axis. Okay. What about 4 random positions? I'm just playing around with things. I don't really actually know what's gonna happen. That looks pretty neat. Okay, let's try adding some Y oscillation waves. So this will make things go up and down. Ooh, interesting. Wow. Okay, let's see. No, I don't want it to go higher. I want it to be more off balance. Let's add another. No, let's keep it there. Let's see what's going on here. I don't like that. So I don't like it. I'm gonna throw it away. What else can we do to this X? Let's see what these loops do. That looks kind of neat. I'm not going to spend too much time on this cue just because I don't want to waste anybody's time, mine or yours. So I'm just going to slow this guy down a little bit because it's a bit too fast for me. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're on the, it sounds like to me this growl is a different key. This growl right here is a different key than this growl. So yeah, so we go boom, wow, boom, wow. So what I'm gonna do is I want this pretty much exact same cue, and I want to play it, but in a different color. So let's make this one red. And then make it a little longer. And so on and so forth. I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but looking at the waveform is really going to help you. And then just messing around. Do not be afraid to get in here, create new shape, and then start from here. Start making cues. If you want it to be a beam show, then you're going to want to do a lot of horizontal. You're going to want to do a lot of beams. You can do fans. These look cool. These look fantastic. Just show it now on your laser when it's safe. Follow all of your safety protocol, and see what looks cool. I will give you this piece of advice. Let's start with this line and a fan, and then look at all of these favorite effects right here. These are really cool. So double click this, and you have this really neat effect already preloaded for you. And let's say I don't like that. We could have this neat zoom in effect, right? Or we could have whatever this is. Utilize these. What I would suggest if you don't know how to use cues is get into some of these and start messing with stuff. Let's see what happens when I turn this to this, or this speed up, or this by this axis, or this by the y-axis, or this by the x-axis, or this by angle. What happens when I change things, right? Just start changing things, because the worst that happens is you delete it and then you have nothing. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Start messing with stuff. Do not be afraid to mess with stuff, and then add things on top of other things. Cancel things out. Do not be afraid to mess with things. You're not gonna break this. Just stay in the cues, mess with cues, and then you'll eventually end up with cues like this, or like that, like this. Let's see. I'll show you guys interesting, just so you could have something to reference. Here, how about this? Just so you guys have something to reference, I'll show you one of my timelines, right? And this is for a song called A Beat About a Beat. So that should be a beat about a beat. Okay, so I spent a bunch of time creating all of these cues, and this one is actually in my light show on my YouTube video. I don't know where it is. You can check it out. Don't feel obligated. I don't really care about views. I don't care about subscriptions. It's just there because I was making stuff and I thought it was cool. But here is an example of all the stuff I did, and you'll see how this, I'll show you this chunk because it is quite complicated. This cue right here was not difficult at all to make. That took maybe 2 minutes to make. What was difficult was making all of these cues, changing, copying and pasting all of these cues, and then making this effect, and then organizing them all, and then again looking at this waveform is going to save your life. If you have any music production experience, that is going to help you a lot, because you're already familiar with working with waveforms, and waveform is just the song, that bit of information right there. I could see that something is happening right here. A bass comes in. You could see kicks. I assume these are going to be drums. This is a lot of drums, I would assume, or just loud sounds. So it is a mixture of drums and loud sounds, and then I assume this is going to be bass. Right, so just read that waveform and use that to your advantage. But I'll let you guys enjoy part of this, and hopefully you learn something. that's that. I hope you guys did learn something from this video. The last thing I will say is do not be afraid to get into these queues, and just mess with them. Do not be afraid to mess with these queues. This one was a parametric image. I'm not sure why I did that. Just just mess around with it. I'll mess around with it right now. It's been a while since I've been in the software, but it is not hard to pick up. And if you are afraid of messing something up, then copy it and then paste it and then mess with the pasted version and then mess with it until it's so fucked up that you can't use it and you want to go back and then start from scratch and then copy a new one and paste a new one. Do not be afraid to copy and paste. Do not be afraid to get up in here and start messing with things. You're not going to learn until you start messing with things and then start putting things together. Get a shitty song that you don't really care about and put a shitty laser show together and start. Fuck up as much as you can. I encourage you to fuck up as much as you can. It's just going to happen. It's just part of the learning process. If you guys need any more tips or tricks, or if there's anything else I can explain better with the limited knowledge that I have, I would be happy to do so. Just probably leave a comment on Reddit or the YouTube video. I don't know if I'll see the YouTube notification, but you can try. I would suggest doing it on Reddit. And yeah, have a good day. Let me know if there's anything I could help with.